Welcome back to Children's Corner, and we're still outside, not in the bookshop. And our story today is about the foundling. I still do not understand the meaning of this word, but I guess together we'll understand who a foundling is. Once upon a time, there was a very nice old lady living in Nairobi. She had spent a good part of her life looking after her old parents, and when they died, she came to town to look for a job. But she was considered too old for a well-paid job. She had to earn her living as a day cleaner in a big building. Jane, that was her name, was going to work every morning. People loved her because she was kind and greeted everyone. In the evening, before going home, she passed through the market, and the traders often gave her some vegetables free of charge. She was very grateful to them and never forgot to pray for all those kind people at night. She did not have a permanent residence in town. A generous person allowed her to stay in a small hut used as servants' quarters. She was happy with the arrangement, for she was alone and a small room was enough for her. She kept her room tidy and never missed decorating it with flowers, for she loved them very much. Jane was a very kind and compassionate person, and every time a neighbor got sick, she was there to assist, and sometimes she spent the night at the sick person's side. She missed her shamba. In her landlord's compound, she was given a piece of land to cultivate. Everything she wanted was growing fast and beautiful. Cabbages, beans, potatoes. People said that she had a green thumb. One day, Jane was returning home after a hard day's work. A group of people were standing in silence near a garbage heap. A neighbor recognized her. "Please, Jane," he called her, "come here." Her friend pointed at something wrapped in the middle of the garbage heap. "Listen, Mama Jane," said her friend. "Don't you hear anything?" Jane knelt down. Delicately, she picked up the plastic bag. It was heavy. She opened it, and to everyone's amazement, the bag contained a beautiful, newly born baby boy. She cried with joy and pity. He was alive and crying, but would not have survived much longer if he had not been found. What to do? It was late. Jane took the baby and wrapped him in her shawl. Then she told her friends, "I'll take the baby home with me, and tomorrow I'll report what has happened to the police." And carrying her precious parcel, Jane went home. Her heart was full of mixed feelings. Pity for the mother who had no courage to keep him. Joy for saving a baby. Worry about what to do. At home, she washed the baby with warm water. Then she borrowed a feeding bottle with a teat and gave him milk to drink. Then she put him in her bed and kept awake the whole night to make sure he was not missing anything. In the morning, she took the baby to the nearest police station. The officer saluted her with respect. "Hello, Mama Jane. What is bringing you here?" he asked. Jane explained what had happened the previous evening and showed him the baby she was holding. "I would be happy to take care of this baby," she told the officer. He answered, "We all know that you are a good and caring person, but you are old and poor." "Yes," said Jane, "I am old. It is true, but I am still strong and I can do some work to earn my living. Besides, I have many friends who will help me. And please, don't forget that I saved his life." After a few weeks, Jane obtained permission to keep the baby boy. She was very happy and grateful to the Lord. "Lord, I did not marry because I had to assist my parents. You are now granting me a son, the joy of my old age. I will be a good mother to him." The neighbors rejoiced with Jane over the strange gift she had received from the Lord. They all helped her. "Here, I have some clothes that are too small for my boy," one neighbor once said. "They will fit little Mugeni." This was the name they all called the baby. "You know, Mama Jane, my child is now feeding well. I have some vitamins that could help your baby grow strong," another offered. The life of Jane changed completely. She could not go to work anymore because the baby was still very small and fragile. But she was working at home, making baskets that a friend offered to sell at the market. The landlord gave her a larger piece of land which she could cultivate. Jane wanted to do things properly. She wanted to give a name to her baby boy. She went to the church and consulted the parish priest. He knew her very well because she never missed Sunday Mass and Bible classes. The parish priest offered to baptize the baby and give him a Christian name. The day of the baptism was a big day for Jane. She dressed the baby in white and invited her friends to join in the ceremony. She gave him the name Moses, remembering how Moses had been saved in the river Nile by the daughter of Pharaoh. From that day on, Jane was not Mama Jane anymore, but Mama Moses, and she was very happy. Meanwhile, Moses was growing normally. He soon started crawling and then walking. Then one day he said his first word, Ma. Mama Moses cried for joy. "My God, thank you for my little son and your son. Let him grow up into a good son of yours, a good Christian." When Moses was 5 years old, his mother started looking for a school. It was difficult, but the idea of having her son go to school made her remember the years when she was a little girl going to the school in the village. This would be a great joy for Moses, she thought to herself, because he will find many friends of his age there. At the beginning of the following year, Mama Moses bought for her son a school bag and uniform. He looked so smart in that blue uniform and so happy. He was admitted to the nearby school where he soon became friends with many other children of his age. But Mama Moses was worried. Will he manage? He is still so little, she told her friend. Do not be worried, answered her friend. A good friend of mine is teaching in that school. I will go and talk to her. Mama Moses felt relieved and thankful. The teacher was very kind and she introduced Moses to the other children. This is Moses, she told them. Moses has no brothers or sisters. He has a very good, tender-hearted mother. All of you are his sisters and brothers. Be good to him and love him. Moses did not understand all this, but he understood that he had found brothers and sisters. He had found friends. So now that we have discovered the meaning of the word foundling, maybe there's somebody in our place who is a foundling as well. So next time we meet them, let us show them that we love them and that I am his or her brother or sister. And thank you very much for staying with me.